but
In this case,
that video
is hilarious.
It's still playing it by bite. But let's keep that for later. For the time being, let's move on. I think we have Nimesh who's joining in right now to tell us about what he's picking up in terms of D-Street chatter. Nimesh, you go first.
Hi, Nigel. So after a big move last week, some bit of consolidation is clearly visible. But the interesting feedback is today the institutions are better sellers. In fact, there's going to be a large basket selling in the mid-cap name. So that probably, I mean, it's not showing up in the screen, but clearly from a flow perspective, there is selling pressure, especially in the mid-cap basket from the large institutions. That's the overall thing. In terms of sectors which are doing good today, the PSU, of course, is been continuously doing good. That stands out. But the pharma index has done well today. The index is at 1%. A lot of individual gainers as well within the pharma names. And on the other side, some bit of profit booking is visible in the real estate stocks after the big move last week. So day of consolidation, so to speak, but from a flow perspective, unlike the screen, there is selling pressure and largely in the mid-cap space.
All right, and individual stocks, Nimesh, what's on your radar today?
Well, Mangalam, in terms of individual names, the first are a couple of stocks where there were large block deals. So the first one is Archean Chemicals. There is a large block, nearly 3.5% equity got changed hands. I'm not too sure on the buyers and sellers, but that stock is relatively under pressure after a large block. The second was Sapphire Foods. Even in Sapphire, there was a large block, nearly 6% equity got changed hands. Looks like the private equity was a seller in today's block, and a couple of mutual funds and FIs were buyers. So multiple buyers on the buy side, but seller was largely P in Sapphire Foods. Second is Manappuram Finance. That stock is buzzing off late. Even in today's the stock is up 1%. But there is a big chatter going around of a large corporate development. But from a flow perspective, there are sell flows, and in fact, there are immersive sell flows at a leading FIs. So when the stock is up, there is selling pressure from the larger FIs in Manappuram Finance today. The third name is JKTyre. Big move in that stock in today's trade, up 10%. I understand the company is likely to raise funds by QIP very soon. So watch out for the QIP book in a day or two in JKTyres. And the last one is Indiabulls Housing Finance. Big move the day the stock has come out of the FNO ban. That stock is up 5% and big volumes as well. For the last few days in the delivery, there was some bit of HNI action back in Indiabulls Housing. So big move on back of HNI flows, as well as the fact that the stock is out of FNO ban.
There was, Indiabulls Housing is coming after a break. It had a very large move earlier, and at that point as well, there were some very large investors who'd gotten in. Then, I think a large majority got out, and now I think there is interest back again. 232 on Indiabulls Housing. So it's a cycle high for this one. Nimesh, SJVN is the other one. You spoke about this in the morning. I think there's a downgrade. Stocks under pressure.
Oh, yes, Prashant. So it was part of my standard brokerage for the day. A very unusual sell call from Goldman Sachs. In fact, it's a double sell, so to speak, from buy to sell, and they have a target for 65, which is way below the current market price. Now, the note very clearly says that the stock has run up sharply, almost 110% since their initiation in July 23. And now they believe that from a valuation perspective, the risk reward is not favorable. In fact, the stock is now trading way above that bull case scenario, which is around 90 rupees per share. And at current price, it captures largely all the RE run up, which can come in the near future, as well as a full materialization of all the opportunities which are there for the company. So that way, it's fully priced in. Additionally, Goldman believes that the street is not yet factoring in the delay in the commissioning of the two large plants, which is Boxer and Arun 3, which will potentially have an impact on the earnings, and there could be further downgrades going forward. So that's been the key reason they have downgraded the stock today. Valuation discomfort, as well as the fact that there could be earnings downgrade. While they expect that the Renewable Energy Implementation Agency, which is the business which they're focusing on, that can add between 3 to 10% of the current market cap, but this will drag the balance sheet going forward. So on back of valuation concerns, the fact the stock is rallied pretty hard, a double downgrade on SJVN technically. So Goldman has today downgraded the stock to sell now, and they have a target price of 65.
Okay, Nimesh, thanks very much for that. We'll take a quick commercial break here. The market's down about 30 points, and the